I'm ABC 13's Dana Evans. Trust is important. At ABC 13, you can trust that we're fighting for you, asking the tough questions, because accountability matters. Watch ABC 13 on TV or WSET.com. That's coverage you can count on.
Well, hello, and welcome back to the Chamber Vibes podcast. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Let me just give you a rundown of what's going on. I'm your host, Foster Garrett, Director of Marketing and Events for the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce, which, if you're not familiar with what chambers are, is a nonprofit membership organization that strives to help the Bedford area prosper by serving and collaborating with local businesses, organizations, and people. And every week, I get to interview a different chamber member to find out what they do and why they do it, recorded right here in beautiful Bedford, Virginia, broadcasting on Grove Street FM and brought to you by Media Squatch. I also want to thank Mark Snowden with Lamar Outdoor Advertising for bringing this podcast to you. Without the support of sponsors like Mark, we really wouldn't be able to do this. And it is an excellent way to learn about the Bedford area, learn about your community, and get to know some of the hidden gems and organizations that help make our area what it is. And before we get to the actual podcast, I do want to tell you about some of our upcoming chamber events. We have a very large event coming very rapidly. It is our annual spring job fair, and we've been doing job fairs for 12 years. They are an excellent way for employers and job seekers to connect face-to-face. If you have applied to jobs recently, if you are on the other side and are trying to hire for especially high-need positions, you know how difficult it is to find somebody that is the perfect fit. And if you're coming to a job fair, you're putting yourself out there, you're getting to know people face to face, you're shaking their hands, you're making eye contact, and you're really able to assess somebody's character and their work ethic and what they really value. It's a good way to just connect with people and see who they are. Sometimes it's hard to convey that through resumes and cover letters. And on the flip side, if you attend the job fair, not only will you be able to talk to so many different employers that are actively hiring in our region, you will also be able to assess what the environment might be like. What are the benefits? Who are the people you'd be working with? What does this business value? And to just get a good feel for both sides. We also try to do really cool things for our job fairs. Like we started offering free childcare to all of our job seekers last year, and we're excited to bring that back this year. We'll also have a free work clothing closet, which is an excellent way to either find new Carhartt boots or get a new blouse or a blazer for your job. And we know that sometimes it can get expensive to find these things, or just being able to have multiple pairs on stock. But we're excited to do that. We'll also have a food truck. And there'll be a lot of other things that we have tied in. So you can learn more about our spring job fair and lots of other events. We have a lot of programming that is coming up soon this spring and summer. But you can learn more about all of that on our website, bedfordareachamber.com. We have a full calendar of events on there with lots of different things. And I will drop our phone number at the very end. So make sure to listen all the way through so that you can connect with us at the chamber to learn more about who we are and what we do. But without further ado, let's get to the reason why we're here. Please allow me to introduce today's guest, Andy Gibson with Smith Mountain Lake Insiders. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And if you have not been to the Media Squatch studios, this place is super cool.
Oh, yeah. People love coming here. I feel like I get to do like a little tour, even though it's not my place, every single time. And every time I come here, I tell people this all the time, there's always something new, especially after what he rebranded last year to being Media Squatch. The branding just kind of went off the charts.
Yeah, it's awesome. Lots of neon.
Lots of neon. Well, Andy, before we kind of get to the question and answers part, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and then about your business?
Sure. So I grew up an Army brat. So I grew up all over the place in the United States and in Europe. But I landed for college at the University of Kansas. Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. I earned a journalism degree, but while I was in school, my folks moved out to Smith Mountain Lake part-time. I'm dating myself here, but this is in the late 80s, early 90s. And my dad, for a while, split his time working at Fort Lee in Petersburg and living at the lake. And of course, I would come out to visit them, and I fell in love. And so I started looking for jobs, up and down the East Coast when I graduated. And my first job was at the Roanoke Times.
Oh, awesome.
Right. So I was a sports writer and copy editor. And I did that for a couple of years. And then I moved into their online division, kind of at the dawn of the internet, and did that for a few years. And then when I became a mom, I decided I didn't want to kind of commute into Roanoke anymore, and just wanted to be, closer to home. And so I helped start Smith Mountain Laker magazine with a gentleman named Micah Gaudio, who also started Smith Mountain Lake Christian Academy. A lot of people don't know that, and we did that for a couple of years and then sold it, ironically, to the Roanoke Times. And did that. I actually was the editor there for about 14 years.
Oh, wow.
And then left about 10 years ago and just have been doing some entrepreneurial things and continuing to write and edit and write about the lake. So I've been in this community now for over 30 years.
Wow.
So I consider it my home.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like once you hit that 5-10 year mark, it starts to become yours. But 30 years, yeah, you're a native.
I never lived anywhere more than 4 years my entire life. So 30 years is...
That's serious.
Yes.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love the lake and just can't imagine living anywhere else.
Yeah. Do you live on the Bedford County side?
Actually, I live on the Franklin County side.
Gotcha. Well, that's awesome. I grew up going to the lake. I'm from Bedford. I'm from out in Manita. So the lake was equally close to town. And I'm so grateful to have many family friends that have places out there or boats. And since my parents have grown up here, I guess we're 3 generations of growing up here now. I've gotten to see a lot of really cool spots that a lot of people don't get to know about. And spending the summer at Smith Mountain Lake, there's no other way to spend my summer, honestly. But
yeah. And you've seen a lot of change just like I have.
Absolutely. And it's really cool, I think, living here as an adult, getting to see kind of how it's growing, and a lot of different businesses are expanding or starting new places. And there's a lot more people living here now, too. So it's becoming more and more bustling, which is interesting to see.
Yeah, COVID really adjusted the landscape at the lake. We see just a lot more young families, people who can, live there full time and, have remote jobs. It's just really kind of changed the whole vibe.
Yeah,
in a good way.
In a good way, for sure. So tell us a little bit about SMO Insiders.
Right. So Smith Mountain Lake Insiders is started as a website more than 27 years ago.
Wow.
I know. So we like to say we did the research and we're 17 days older than Google.
That is so cool.
I know. Cool little stat.
Yeah.
It was started by a gentleman named Brian Robb, who was one of my mentors. He was a true entrepreneur. And he and his wife Lisa moved to the lake in 1996. And it was really the dawn of the internet. And he wanted to share about the lake with other people. And so he just kind of started this website as a hobby, and it kind of grew. And then, it's been about 5 years ago, he approached me and my business partner, Jennifer Church, to see if we would be interested in acquiring it. And he's since passed away. He had cancer, but he wanted to make sure that the website went to someone who was going to be a good steward of it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just super thankful that, that was me. And then Jennifer and I spent the better part of a year bringing it up to date. It was pretty outdated. The platform needed to be completely overhauled. But it was full of, amazing content. And then, so that was going well. And my husband came to me one day and he said, "You have all this great content and you know how to produce a magazine, and Jennifer knows how to produce a magazine. Why don't you guys have a print component to this?" He said, "I think there's, room in the market for it." And I said, No. I don't want to be a magazine. I like having mine, just running my website. But then after a while, I kind of came around, and it has been the best decision because the magazine, we print a quarterly magazine. It's, by season. So spring, summer, fall, winter, has been so well received in the community. And it has lifted the traffic for the website exponentially. So it's this whole synergy going on where the a magazine is driving traffic to the website, website's driving traffic to the magazine, and it's just rising, the whole tide. And we're just super thankful that, when we started making phone calls to area businesses, they were all on board with our vision, which was to promote the lake in all 4 seasons and all the things that there are to do here. And just what an amazing community it is to live in and to work in, and of course to play in.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really incredible sometimes. I hear stories on this podcast of people doing things in their past where it doesn't seem to align with what they do, but as they tell the story of how they've gotten to where they are, things just seem to fall into place with how things are meant to be, and finding your passion in it and seeing it really help your community. It's a fantastic thing, especially with your mentor, seeing that you would be a great person to hand this off to and grow it. That's a very meaningful thing.
Right. So he wanted to make sure that it wasn't just tourism related, but also, and that's what we do. We try and straddle the fence between content that's appealing to tourists, but also people who live here. And a lot of the time it's the same. I mean, there's a real crossover. Like, for example, one of our most popular posts and stories is our waterfront dining guide. And, we update it every year with all the restaurants that are on the water, give them, digital map, print map, so that they can easily find. But so people who come and vacation here, of course, they want to know that information. But people who live here get in their boats and drive to the lakes. So a lot of the time there is a lot of crossover in the content. So.
That is cool. And what are some of the things that people might find in SML Insiders?
Right. So the verticals really are, lodging. So where to stay. And these are all the questions that we get most often. Where should I stay? Where should I eat? What is there to do? So that's what we have. So it's lodging, dining, activities, boating. We have a whole section about living at SML where we do highlight different community organizations, which is one of our favorite things to do because the lake is full of just extremely generous people, with their time and their talents, really. And then the big thing that really kind of jump-started a lot of it is the events. Like, we take and compile all the events that are going on around the lake region and put them into an annual guide and then monthly blog posts.
Oh, wow.
So people can so instead of having to go to this Facebook page to find out who's playing live music and that Facebook page or whatever, we've done it for you. We put it all in one blog post. And then if you sign up for our email, we send out a weekly, email newsletter. We highlight that information each week. So you don't even have to go look for it. We send it right to your inbox.
Easy.
Yep. And then of course we put it on social media too, so people can find it that way. And I mean, I can't tell you how many people have said, thank you so much for doing that. It's like such a,
yeah,
it makes it so much easier. I know where all the live music is or where, just what's happening each weekend. So yeah, events are big.
Yeah. And I had Mary Massey with Poplar Forest come on the podcast last week, and we were talking about how things that are in kind of the area where you grew up in or you like currently live, you kind of take them for granted, or you just don't look into them like quite enough to really figure out what's going on. So to be able to make it easy for everybody to go, okay, let me go check out the SML Insiders most recent blog post. Let me just check their newsletter and have everything right there. You can be more involved with your local community and to put things on your bucket list that aren't like things that you have to really travel for that you have here, and just be more aware of what's going on, if nothing else.
Well, I appreciate that about the chamber and the email that you do too. I mean, it's so nice to pick that, open that up every Friday afternoon and be like, oh, it's all compiled for me.
Thank you. Yeah. I try, man. But there's so much that is happening in Bedford at Smith Mountain Lake. And it's great when people like you are able to dedicate that time and that passion and energy towards it. And I know that you guys have been recognized for that, especially with our counterparts at the SML Chamber. I know that you guys recently won an award. And is this your second year in a row?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just won for the second straight year Outstanding Tourism Advocate of the Year. Yeah. So that is, And there's only 5 awards that they give out every year.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's
It's a big deal.
well, for us, it's a really nice honor, especially because it is voted on by the members. It's not a community-wide thing. It's your business peers that are recognizing you. So, Jennifer and I work really hard, and we've got this small but mighty team. And just to be recognized for that effort is, it means a lot.
Absolutely. And congratulations on that.
Thank you, Foster.
You're welcome. Well, we've talked a little bit about what people can find on your website, on your social media, and in the print magazine. I know that you guys are working on the next season.
Right. We've been through a whole year. And
so you've only been printing.
We've printed 4 issues.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we started.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we started with 68 pages, which we were really happy about.
Yeah.
And then our most recent issue, our home and garden issue for the spring, that's in racks now, is 84 pages.
Wow.
So it's really, that people are, it's kind of starting to roll, and people are kind of see that this is the spot they need to be to reach the again, both tourists and locals, at the lake. So we have over 70 distribution points where you can pick it up for free. And then, of course, you can read it online. We've got it, in a digital flip book format. And then each story in the magazine becomes its own blog post as well. So it makes it easy to just go and find, what you're looking for. But we print 15,000 copies of this issue because it's just full of, all sorts of stuff that you need for spring. And we know once the tourists show up here next month that they'll want to pick this one up as well. And then we're getting ready to launch one more because for somebody thought it was a good idea to put out another magazine in between the spring and the summer.
Pointing at yourself.
Yeah, that would be me.
Yeah.
And it's something really the lake has needed for a long time. It's a dining and entertainment guide. Again, so what we get asked the most is, where should I eat? And then my first question is, well, where are you staying? Are you on the Franklin side? Are you on the Bedford side? Because, it's a big lake. And if you're staying on the Bedford side, I'm going to recommend, things that, restaurants that are convenient to that. And again, with the entertainment, that's the next thing is, well, what is there to do? What is there to do with my kids? What are my teenagers? So that's what we're going to put out. So, like when you go on vacation, like the first thing you do, like you're at the beach or whatever, you pick up those magazines.
Yes, all the little magazines, the brochures. I love to pick those up.
Right. So actually, Jason at Mangoes said one time, he's like, why don't we have one of those? And I was like,
why don't we have one?
Why don't we have that? And again, because I already have all of that information on my website.
That is so awesome.
It's all up there. It's just a matter of, repurposing it into print. So,
and getting the advertising to help pay for it.
Right. So the restaurants have been really on board, and not just restaurants, really. Like, we have realtors and insurance company. I mean, people who again want to reach that market. So it's not just, not just restaurants.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about the food and entertainment guide. You mentioned that, is it going to be an insert? Is it going to be a magazine?
No, it's going to be its own standalone publication.
Okay.
It will, so it's a companion piece. It's going to have comprehensive restaurant directory, so like in chart form, so you can find it, but then also listings. So, it doesn't do you a lot of good to say, oh, you should go eat at X when you don't really know what that is. So, we've got a little description of what you can expect there, casual dining with a lake view, that kind of thing. We're going to redo our waterfront dining guide, which again, people really love. Pet-friendly dining places at the lake. A list of all the places that have patios that you're welcome to bring your well-behaved dogs to. What else? Yeah, entertainment guide, events, food-related events, the top food-related events at the lake each year. So, yeah, that's about
all that good stuff. Well, that's perfect because...
Oh, and coupons.
See, you've got me hanging on to the coupons. I love a good coupon. And especially with a lot of restaurants, lakefront especially, they're only open during the warm months. This is like a great time to go ahead and get that out and let people know what's about to open, what's available to them. And Are you still selling advertising for that?
Yeah, we're wrapping it up this week.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we gotta move on to our big summer issue. We got a lot going on for that one too. So.
Oh yeah, well, tell us about the summer issue.
Right. So it's going to be a lot of we're calling it the boating issue. So there's a lot of boating content.
Mm-hmm.
How to read the channel marker system, because that's.
God,
I mean,
I still struggle with that.
I mean, but again, we've one of our freelance writers, Jerry Hale. He's a sea tow captain. He's been on the lake forever.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks it down, and you're like, oh, well, now that makes more sense. Let's see what else. Nighttime boating tips. How to wake and tow responsibly and safely. That's a big thing to make sure you are, when you're out there towing your kids or wake surfing, that you do it safely and responsibly, and you're, being courteous to people on the shoreline and being respectful of the shoreline, because it can, cause damage.
Mm-hmm.
So, so content related to that. And of course, the biggest summer events, we always do a community feature. What else? I don't know. Lots of good stuff. My brain is completely focused on Dining Guide right now. So I can't jump ahead for a whole month.
It's hard to switch gears when you've got big projects like that, right on the edge of being completed.
Do you have any big projects coming up?
Oh, we always have big projects coming up. We are about to print our community guide. It's been taking way too long, but with such a small staff, we're doing our best. But it looks amazing, and I'm really excited about that. Our job fair is coming up, and that is like one of our biggest events that we do, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year. I think I get a little ambitious with like the additional offerings, but I have a workforce committee that works closely with me to help get businesses there and let people know about it. We do a lot of advertising for it. So there's just a lot of different like little threads that go into it. And once we're done with the job fair, that's kind of the last big event for the spring. But we immediately start working on our gala. And we're doing a second job fair in the fall this year. So I know. So I was ambitious with just the event itself, but now we're doing two. But I'm really excited. I think we finally got our venue planned for the fall one. And we're working with some great people, and the awards just opened yesterday for
Saw that.
Yeah, so our Excellence in Business Awards are now open for nominations, and we've changed it a little bit this year. We used to do like Citizen of the Year, but there are some other local organizations that do a much better job than us, in all honesty, in doing community service awards. And since ours are business community focused and chamber focused, we decided to change it up and do Boss of the Year and Employee of the Year. So I'm really excited to see what submissions are given. It's just amazing, like, for people to be recognized at all, regardless of whether or not they end up being the recipient of the award. Because people always, they take it to heart. They feel seen for their hard work and their creativity and everything that they do. And it's a great thing to be a part of. We continue to innovate with that too. I did award videos for the first time last year. Instead of having people like having us read off like brief descriptions, we did videos where they could put pictures or videos behind like them talking about their business, and people absolutely love that. So I'm excited to keep doing that this year. But yeah, lots of projects, lots
like
of
the Oscars.
Yes,
Right?
it's like the Oscars. It's a lot of fun. I didn't think that. Well, I was nervous about doing the gala the first year that we did it because it's so much work and it's a huge event. It's the largest one that we do. And I thought I would be like in work mode the whole night. And I was, but it just has such amazing atmosphere. People are coming together that maybe always see each other, but also new people. And it's just a really good environment of networking and being there for each other and loving the Bedford area and wanting to really thrive together, because that's what chambers all try to do, is we try to bring people together for a common purpose and to support each other.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of chambers.
Mm-hmm.
I was I've probably been a member of the Smith Mountain Lake one for probably 25 years. I was on the board. I was a past president.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did my time, but thank goodness for committees.
Yes. Especially like, I know SML, they have a small staff too. It is hard to do so many things for so many people and so many purposes when it's just your staff.
Well, and you get out of it what you put in. So if you're a member and you are not involved, you're missing out on the chance to, meet more people and do more networking and
Yeah, sometimes just being present, sometimes just putting yourself out there, whether it's like virtually or in person, it can pay dividends. And I love the people that are involved with us. They have treated me so well since day one and helped me with so much, especially as like a young professional. Like learning from them has been essential. And um, I I can do my job, but I can't do everything that I do without the support of volunteers and involved chamber members. So if you're listening, I appreciate you. Volunteer, please. Well, let's get back on track a little bit. I know that you're very knowledgeable about Smith Mountain Lake, and what do you think are some of the things that businesses and people can do to help foster tourism at Smith Mountain Lake?
individuals,
Just
or
in general.
The business community at the lake is really welcoming. And I just think, as everybody realizes that they wouldn't be there, like the lake wouldn't be growing and their businesses wouldn't be thriving if it weren't for tourism. Of course, we've got tons of year-round residents. And back to your point about it is a little bit of a myth that business they're only open in the summer. That is a very small portion of the majority of restaurants. The majority of marinas are open year-round. Excuse me. So they recognize that you have to go above and beyond in terms of customer service, because that's your livelihood. If it weren't for the strong tourism, and we've got so much construction going on right now, commercial, residential, so many big projects, and it's great to see. And the tourism, it just supports all of that.
And there's so many things to do at Smith Mountain Lake, and it's not just like fishing, although fishing is so much fun. Don't knock it till you try it. But there are lots of festivals during the summer. Pirate Days is so much fun. There are so many different marinas. Bridgewater is incredible. I think that people kind of overlook Bridgewater sometimes, which I think is really funny, because I actually went there in December, which is not really the time that most people go. But I brought a couple friends with me, and 2 of them are from Bedford, born and raised, and they had never been there before.
Oh my goodness.
I was so shocked. It was crazy. They had never been to Moosey's. They had never gone to the arcade.
Have you been to Booker T. Washington?
I have, many times.
A lot of people who live here have never been to Booker T. Washington.
Yes.
I'm like, you are missing out. That place is awesome, and it's free.
It is. And I think when people hear National Monument, they think of like actual, like you go visit like a statue or something. And that's not what it is at all.
No,
it is so much
park with streams and trails and animals and So there's a lot of stuff going on right in your own community that the other thing I've a lot of people say, it's like the Virginia Dare. Like that's not just a tour. Like if you live here, that's a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, it is a really cool thing to do. And sometimes it's just fun to go out to the Smith Mountain Lake Park and hang out and check it out. You can rent like little paddle boats and stuff there, which is so much fun. There are also lots of boats and jet skis and stuff that people can rent. You should get your license.
Yeah, they have a beach. They've got an awesome playground. They have picnic pavilions. It's just a great place to spend a day. And I think they've got like 14 miles of trails out there.
Yeah, people often don't know about the trails either. But we're so lucky in Bedford to have Smith Mountain Lake at one border and the Blue Ridge Mountains at the other, because it's really, there's so much to do. There's so much that this area can offer. And even if you're not like a sporty, outdoorsy person, it's good to just go outside and experience what our area has to offer. I think this is the year that we need to start putting like local things on our like bucket list for the year. When you make your New Year's resolution, be like, okay, I'm finally going to go check out Bridgewater. I'm finally going to go check out Booker T. Washington. I'm finally going to do those things and not put it off on the back burner.
Well,
yeah,
I agree.
What is the one thing that you're going to do this year? Have you
In all my free time?
In all your free time? Yeah.
What is something I haven't done? I haven't been out to the state. Well, I did do I did a 5K out of the state park, but I haven't gone and just like spent a day out there. So maybe I'll put that on my list.
If you go to the state park, make sure you go and get like a snack from the concessions over there. They may not have this anymore, but they used to have a popsicle in the shape of SpongeBob SquarePants.
No.
And it had gumballs for eyes.
I'm going to call you. We'll go together.
Okay, that would be so much fun, actually.
Yeah.
See,
let's do it.
Oh my gosh, I'm down. But Andy, is there anything else? We've had a really fun conversation, and I've learned a lot about SML Insiders, and I think it's incredible you guys are doing what you do. With 5 years of working on the website, 1 year of publishing. I'm honestly so surprised that it's only been 1 year, because I see your magazines everywhere. I hear about them all the time. I see what you're doing on the internet, and you guys are a small powerhouse.
Thank you. And it's it's fun. It's what we do, and we love it. Like I said, we love the community, and it's just it's a wonderful service. And I just appreciate you having us. And you can pick up a print copy at the Bedford Welcome Center. We do distribute there. So if you're listening and you're in Bedford, just stop by, and they're right when you come in on the left.
Yep. Well, if people want to get in touch with you, whether it's about advertising or asking you all the questions of where to eat and where to go and where to stay, what's the best way to do so?
Well, you can always reach me by email. It's Andy, ANDIE, at smlinsiders.com. The website address is smith-mountain-lake.com. And or on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. So,
well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Appreciate you having me. It was a pleasure.
Of course. Well, if you guys want to learn more about us at the Chamber, you can call us at 540-586-9401, or you can visit our website, bedfordareachamber.com, for information about our mission and the perks of becoming a member. But also on our website is a full directory of our membership, which is helpful for finding all sorts of amazing things in the Bedford area, including SML Insiders. But that's all for today. Thanks so much for listening, and keep an ear out for the next Chamber Vibes podcast.